Well, the other day, Larry Goldberg threw down the gauntlet. He said that many among his friends on, on X would probably be unhappy with him. Oh, no, Larry, that's impossible. We would never be unhappy with you, but maybe challenged. So Larry's challenge was, and Larry, maybe you'd like to describe your challenge.
Yeah, I've been a little concerned about all these predictions about Optimus being in the factories already and Optimus gonna reduce the operating cost, the production costs of in the factories next year, and that there'll be 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 Optimi in the factories, in 2024, by the end of 2024. And of course, we all were very pleased to see the latest video on Optimus, a massive improvement in the hardware, massive improvement in the walking gait of the piece, and really interesting capabilities in terms of the fingers flexing and also being touch sensitive in moving the egg. And so we were very pleased, and people got even further out over their skis about when it was all done and we were going to go into production and blah, blah, blah. And I may be exaggerating a touch there, but nonetheless, I thought time to call halt and just put a little bit of thought into when can Optimus really be ready. And one thing I will tell you is that we have seen no evidence of Optimus's ability to actually function in a real world production environment. We've seen it move blocks from tray to tray. We've seen it move egg from tray to tray. Pretty impressive, by the way. We don't know what it took to train it to do that. We don't know what it took to train it to walk, and we don't know what it took to train it to dance. Also very impressive, by the way.
Right.
And all I'm saying is that, Elon talked about 25, having some bots in the factory in 25, talked about 26 being, when they start delivering. And so I don't think in 24 we will see bots in the factory. Elon, if anything, is a little bit, optimistic. I know that's news to a lot of people, but he is a little optimistic. So if he tells me 25, I'm certainly not going to go with 24. Having said that, we have not had evidence yet of the bot's ability to learn from visual clues or, language clues. We haven't seen any ability of the bot to function in a factory setting in a safe way. People talk about, oh, well, it'll just move pieces from here to there. Look, I've toured these factories. I've toured the operating factory in Fremont. There aren't people moving something from here to there much, if at all. I mean, it is, firstly, there are not a lot of people. I mean, given the size of the factory, even though you don't see a huge number of people, the count goes up. But most of the work being done is going to be very challenging to teach a robot and to get a robot to function in, a productive way. So I think we have a way to go yet. And a lot of people but disagreed with me. And you know what? I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. That's not headline news. I could be wrong.
We all have that. We all have that going for us.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be proved wrong. In this case, I'd be delighted to be proved wrong.
Yes.
But I'm not one for hardware. I don't know that much about hardware. No. I really trust Scott Walters, and I really trust him. He's got those numbers down. He understands the bot. He understands the power consumption of the bot. He understands the weight of each of the pieces. He's got that down, and there's nobody I know who is as much a master of that. But I know a lot about software, and I understand what it's going to take to train this bot. And people send me pictures of their bot that cleans the floor and say, "Well, I can do this." Yeah, and I've got a bot that cleans my pool. What we're talking about, that is to say, a functioning manufacturing environment and functioning within that manufacturing environment and learning in a productive way rapidly enough to actually function in that environment and to have scale of any sort at all, it's going to be a significant challenge. I mean, a very significant challenge. And in my piece, I wrote about the challenge of FSD, which we haven't got yet.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a very useful automated driving tool, but we're not near FSD yet. And, I've spoken about FSD being another 3 to 5 years. This was almost a year ago. So we're really, 3. So we're really at 2 to 4 years now. And I'm comfortable with that view at this point. I think we're more than a year away from a functioning bot in the factories, operational, and I have no doubt that they'll manufacture the bot at scale. I have no doubt about their ability to do early manufacturing, to test it out, and, but 2024 is not going to happen, in my judgment.
Right.
And I could be wrong.
So now, of course, I am the optimist.
Really?
I describe myself on my X platform, on the X platform. That's what it says about me. And I was the first one really to talk about the Optimus in any kind of quantities or any kind of timeline in the book, the Elon Musk mission. And I've had Scott Walter on my program before almost anybody else, talking about what it would take to make it happen. But I now have done an analysis, Larry, specifically for you, and then I'm going to throw these exact same questions at a couple, like even Scott, and see where we all may come out at the end of this. Yeah. And will we know any more than we already know without Elon or somebody telling us more? Maybe not, but it'll be fun to go down this road. So let me ask you the first question. Optimus is by far Tesla's largest opportunity going forward, with implications for cost savings, for profits, and for brand enhancement at levels unheard of in at least 100 years by any company, maybe ever. So would you?
I agree.
You agree. We don't have to, no argument there. All right. So number 2, as such, it would make sense that the rumor that Optimus is getting more and more of Elon's attention, that would make sense, that that would be important to him to get to
That's a great thing, but it's also a very worrying thing. Elon can turn things upside down overnight. There's no doubt that this is the great opportunity. And Elon made it very clear at the shareholders meeting and subsequently that he sees it this way. I have no doubt at all. And when you look at that team of 200 plus people, you understand that, and that, that doesn't even count Dojo and all the other, but they are serious. They are very serious, and they're putting money into it. And, you see the R&D at Tesla is creeping up very rapidly. I've spoken about this before. 2024 and 2025 are going to see a very substantial increase in R&D expenditure.
Right.
Just because he's putting his focus on it doesn't mean it's going to happen in 2024.
All right.
So now it means that he's focusing on getting it to happen in 2025.
All right. So number 3, we have multiple other humanoid manufacturers just in the last week, including in particular, I think, Brett Adcock. I think he would be the one that was on ARK Invest on their show, and then Connecting the Dots did a number on it yesterday. I thought, Brad is saying that he has people in factories now that are working with their GoPro on their head to simulate those environments. He says he will have actual humanoid robots in factories, in his clients' facilities next year. actually working and doing useful tasks next year. And then we have a Chinese company, I forget the name of the Chinese company, but there's a video out on it as well that has they demonstrated a humanoid robot walking and moving at pace and doing et cetera, who also says that they will have working robots in factories this coming year. Do you think these are credible claims? Are they just not? Do you think they're out over their skis? And if they can do it with Tesla having such a lead and such a much more powerful capability, why wouldn't Tesla be able to be testing these in real life situations next year?
I remember in 2018 and 2019, Mary Barra telling us that in 2023 she's going to beat Tesla. I can't even recall how many other guys were going to beat Tesla. I mean, there are a lot of robot companies around. Everybody's got another angle, an idea. It's a time, it's an idea whose time has come. Until we actually see this really happening, it's not happening. And if we see it really happening, the question is it real world AI, or is it monkey see, monkey do, or monkey train, or monkey program, by discrete code to do something? There are a lot of robots. I mean, Amazon been using robots for a decade. There are a lot of specialized robots. If we're talking about what Elon's trying to achieve with Optimus, it's not easy. It's not easy, and it may be a longer development project than somebody who's taking a shorter cut, without the longer, view. So I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. So I'm more than comfortable with that.
So as we've gone down this road so far, Larry, I'm going to change the next question up just a little bit. So you divided it into hardware and software, and you said that Scott Walter is somebody that you have a lot of respect for. Scott Walter and I've had this conversation at least 5 times, that there's absolutely no reason in his mind why they couldn't be hand building this bot right now. There's no reason in his mind why they couldn't be putting a production line together right this minute. Every single part in the bot is easy to manufacture, easy to scale. The combination of all of the parts together is not a problem to set up a production line to make this product at scale. So would you then have an issue with hardware not being the limiting factor, and the capacity to build tens or thousands or tens of thousands of the actual hardware part would be possible in 2024?
Well, tens of thousands, I'm not so sure I would agree with. I think that this is a unique enough production that they'll want to scale with some measure. But yeah, they could exit 2024 with a significant production capacity. I think they need to do a lot more work with the bot in the factory to prove the design before they really scale seriously. That's my view. I could be wrong, but the hardware is not the hard part.
Okay, so assuming that the software is the hard part, and we know that Tesla operates at the speed of thought, and so we would anticipate then that Tesla, if they have 200 plus people working on it, that a lot of these people would be doing various training processes, different training methods, in order to, is this easier to do by see and do? Is this easier to do by, I'm going to give you I'm going to speak it to you and you're going to do it? Is this easier to do by simulation? Is it easier to do by hooking people up with the electrical, or just watching YouTube videos, as Google claims that their bot is able to do? With all of those different capabilities and all of the different strengths of the Tesla engineering team, why do you think that it's hard to go from moving an egg from one hand to another to picking up a drill and putting in a bolt.
Because Tesla's trying to solve the general case, not a specific case. If they were trying to solve for a specific case and produce 10,000 bots to do this drill, I mean, they could do that. There's no development project of scale required. What Tesla's mission is to build a general solution that can be trained easily. That's going to be difficult. Now, you could argue with me and say, well, they can, in the interim, they can do this on an interim scale. What's the value of that? Who cares?
So the comparison would be full self-driving on the car. When full self-driving,
absolutely, that is the comparison. That's all I said. Just look at FSD. FSD, they're trying to solve the problem of robotaxi. They're not selling like Mercedes or BMW. They're not selling a driver assist program. They're selling full self-driving, and that's their target.
But they put it out when it only had this level of capability.
On a beta basis with the explanation of where they're going. And so, yeah, they can certainly essay that in the factory at a limited scale. That's fine. But until they actually get the methodology, until they get the concept, I don't think they're going to do it at scale.
Okay. All right. And a lot of folks, maybe you're not among them, think that they would do massive amounts of internal and maybe first or second tier suppliers. If they were actually, I'm just going to take a leap of faith and say, nope, they've decided to do 50,000 or 100,000 next year or 200,000, whatever. They're going to do a lot of them. They're going to go to scale. They've got the capability. They're going to do it. Why not? We'll make money. Can you think of any specific reason why they would limit it to internal uses as opposed to going ahead and offering it to factories, not to do my laundry?
I read that theory and it just sounds upside down to me. Why would they limit the sale of bots? I mean, it would be crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like saying we're not going to sell any Teslas because people may use them as taxis in the future. I mean, money today is worth X much more than money tomorrow. And to say we're going to just use it to manufacture, to reduce our costs, that's crazy. That's not the mission anyway. That's not Tesla's mission. And Tesla's always focused on their mission. They gave away the NACS. They gave away the 48-volt system best practices. They gave away their patents. That's Tesla's, that's their mission.
Right.
And it doesn't make any business sense anyway. If you look at the value of profits today versus, it doesn't make any sense.
So Larry, could I summarize your position from my point of view, and you can tell me I'm all wet? You think that software is the big issue, number one. And number two, your big issue with the software is even that you think that they won't release this. They won't put it out in big numbers until they get the software to be able to do relatively sophisticated tasks, as opposed to being able to do a couple of hundred kind of minor things like moving something from here to there or putting in a bolt.
Yeah, I think that there's a little bit of disconnect in the last. A couple of hundred and sophisticated things that are roughly the same order of magnitude. Look, the physical device and manufacturing the physical device and the software kind of work together. Mm-hmm. They have to develop the two, and they have to be comfortable that when they scale, what they're scaling to makes sense. So I think, there are steps to take. And so I think those are going to be the steps they take. So I just think 2024 is going to be evolution. 2025 is going to be production. And who knows, they could have 100 bots at the end of 200 bots, 500 bots by the end of 2024. But when we're talking about thousands, I think we're talking about 2025.
Larry, I appreciate all that you do for this channel and for the community. And now we'll present these same questions to a couple of other folks, and we'll somehow maybe come to some conclusion. I'm not sure what.
And we could all be wrong.
And we could all be wrong, and probably will be. Thanks so much, Larry.
Thank you. Bye.
Is somebody going to join Patreon? All right, I'm going to make a deal. This is going to be, I've done this once before. It worked a little bit. Actually got a lot of people joining Patreon the last 2 weeks. But the last 2 days, not a single soul. So let's get you up on Patreon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you one free audiobook. You can have two free if you want. Or you can have one free audiobook and the Cybertruck bottle opener. How's that? 1 and 1. Okay. If you join at the $10 level, not at the $5 level. If you join at the $5 level, you just get the one book. Now, if you're completely new to the channel, this is a bottle opener. It is a refrigerator magnet. It is 3mm thick, stainless steel, really, really tough. Comes in a very cool magnetic box that makes it a great gift item. So, you know, it's got all kinds of people now buying them as gifts as a result of the fact that I have so many people that want to buy them as gifts, and they're putting in these larger orders. I do have it all down. I think I put it all down below. I'll have to double check and make sure that it's up to date. They're normally $25 a piece. You get two for $45. You get three for $60. Okay. You get 100 for $210, and you get 200 for $400. Gets you all the way down to $20 a piece. If you are out of the country, I need you to add another $20 to that for freight, whichever one of those ones you pick. And then if you are, and then please let me know camo or regular. And of course you can mix and match if you buy quantities, however you want to set that up. So is there anything else I have left for you tonight? I think I've said it all. I have enjoyed speaking with you yet again.
Click the link below to get your paperback, Kindle, or audiobook now.